In 2019, BET honored Tyler Perry with the Ultimate Icon Award, and he gave what would become an iconic speech.
I was trying to help somebody cross.
This speech was so impactful, so inspirational, detailed, and layered that after studying this, I realized that I could not only give y'all a speech breakdown, I could do an overview of his career and still give you valuable life-changing principles that can help somebody cross. Before we get started, if you're new to this channel, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Now let's get right into the speech, line for line.
I couldn't help but think about my mother. I remember being a kid, about 5 years old. She would take me into the projects with her when she played cards on Friday nights with a bunch of women. Now these women didn't have more than a 12th grade education, but they were smart black women. They were powerful black women. They had great stories to tell.
First, let's start with that. Understand and recognize the greatness in other people before you judge them for what they lack.
And I was a 5-year-old kid sitting there on the floor playing with my Matchbox cars, listening to them talk about their men, their relationships, and their pains. And when one of them would get really sad, another woman would come in and make a joke, and they'd all start laughing. I didn't know I was in a master class for my life.
This is the first principle: listen and learn. Tyler Perry at a young age grew up watching and learning from black women, which shaped the direction of his future. Don't be so busy playing that you miss out on the blessings God placed in front of you. Also, Tyler Perry movies are always about women, relationship, and pain. See how we're connecting the dots?
I would get home and my father would be beating my mother and doing all kinds of things and saying all kinds of stuff to her, and he would leave the room and I'd walk in and I'd imitate one of those women and she would start laughing. There was a power in that I didn't really get until I got older.
Did I take, that was my parking spot, and you gonna jump in front of me and take my damn parking spot?
Are you insane? Put my car down!
Okay, I'm gonna put it down.
I remember being about 11, 12 years old on my way to my new school, and I got to this intersection, 6-lane intersection, and there was a man standing there saying, "Will someone help me cross? Will someone help me cross?" I said, "I'll help you cross." So he told me he was going to my school, and he was going to sell candy there. That's how he made his living. So I helped him cross the street.
Yeah. And how you helped him cross.
Right.
And I'm somebody that even before you knew me, I feel like you helped me cross.
Wow.
People cross because Mr. Butler was when you were a child.
Yeah, he was a child. I never forgot him. Right down on Washington Avenue here in New Orleans is where he lived. But what I didn't say in that speech is that he was the only black man, he was the first black man to see me, and he was blind. That's why he needed help, but he saw me. He talked to me like a person, not like a child that was just to be discarded. But
that moment reminded me of my mother, bringing her out of pain into laughter to help her cross. My first 10 movies were all about her subconsciously, wanting her to know that she was worthy, wanting black women to know you're worthy, you're special, you're powerful, you're amazing.
Who are you?
Who you?
I'm the owner of this house.
Wrong answer. My granddaughter Helen is the owner of this house. You the hoe. You ain't got no power or no deed.
Mike, where is Sheila?
Oh, I made her drive. We flew.
What? You did what?
Look, I wasn't paying for another seat for her big ass. Y'all know she fat as hell.
Mike, are you hearing what you're saying right now? I can't even believe, did he just say that she's driving?
I'm still on the fat as hell part.
So, you have to be...
Don't come up in here like you know us.
Okay.
All of that was about helping her cross. When I started hiring people like Taraji and Viola Davis and Idris Elba, they couldn't get jobs in this town, but God blessed me to be in a position to be able to hire them. I was trying to help somebody cross.
Principle number 2, be a blessing. Don't ever think that it's all about you. Do everything you can to help others around you cross. And plus, be a blessing in whatever way you can. Just give people opportunities.
Now, it's about the Fall from Grace movie. Now, I saw Black Twitter tear your ass up about the head dressings, about the wigs
Yeah,
and shit.
I'll tell you about my hair department, man. Those ladies and guys, they make $65 an hour. They work 10 to 12 hours a day, right? So a lot of them are new and trying to get it together and learning.
Right.
And I'm okay with that.
That's right.
I'm okay with them trying to find their way.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to make some mistakes. So for them, I felt the pressure. Not for myself. I don't really do it. But for them, but I tell you what it did. Everything they're doing now is so much better. So it's okay. It's all right.
When I built my studio, I built it in a neighborhood that is one of the poorest black neighborhoods in Atlanta, so the young black kids can see that a black man did that and they can do it too. I was trying to help somebody cross.
I once heard someone say that if you see someone that looks like you doing it, then it's possible. Tyler Perry shows me that anything is possible. Also, I was trying to help somebody cross is repetition in his speech that drives home the phenomenal point that Tyler Perry was making.
The studio was once a Confederate Army base, and I want you to hear this, which meant that there was Confederate soldiers on that base plotting and planning on how to keep 3.9 million Negroes enslaved. Now that land is owned by one Negro.
That's just a masterfully crafted sentence and a historical accomplishment.
It's all about trying to help somebody cross. While everybody was fighting for a seat at the table, talking about Oscar so white, I said, y'all go ahead and do that. But while you fighting for a seat at the table, I'll be down in Atlanta building my own.
Principle number 3, build your own. We talk about building the audience here quite often, but Tyler Perry did that before social media, so he really knows how to hustle.
And my focus was just stay creative, continue to serve the niche, serve the audience that's coming, serve them, super serve them, like just focus, hyper focus on them, make sure that they are the nucleus and your intent. And what happened for me over the years is it grew and grew and grew and grew as long as I stayed focused on the core. Focus very strongly on the core. Do not disrespect them. Make sure that they know how special they are. Make sure how they know that you appreciate them. Show them as much respect and decency as you would anybody else, because they're the bridge that's going to bring you over.
Because what I know for sure is that if I could just build this table, God would prepare it for me in the presence of my enemies.
Okay, now he's just preaching.
Rather than being an icon, I want to be an inspiration. I want you to hear this. Every dreamer in this room, there are people whose lives are tied into your dream. Own your stuff. Own your business. Own your way.
Ownership is also a common theme here, and I'll link a few of these principles above and below, but I'll let Tyler Perry tell you how and why ownership is so important.
And ownership was key for me, because when I was a kid, man, my father worked for this, he built houses, this white man that he loved. And he would come home so happy because he had made $800. He made his money. So I made this much money, and he had to pay his employees out of it because he had other subs under him.
Right.
And I always watched a man who built the house and owned it sell it for $80,000. So he got 80, my father got 800, and he thought it was a wonderful thing. And I even remember being a kid trying to talk my mother and my father into actually buying the house and selling it. But, you know, they came from a Jim Crow South. That kind of reality wasn't for them. They didn't get it.
Right.
So ownership was the key, man. Ownership, that's the thing that has changed everything in my life. I own every play, every movie, every character, every TV show, it's all owned by me. And that is what has set the difference of me being able to say, I'm going to set a path where I can open the door for everybody else.
Absolutely.
Or waiting for somebody to give me a job.
Hey, God bless you. Thank you, BT. Thank you, Scott. I love you guys. Thank you.
I really want to thank you guys for watching this week's episode of Culture Breakdown. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with as many people as possible if you really enjoyed it. And until next week, I'm out. Thank you guys for watching all the way to the end of the video. If you're still here watching, be sure to hit the subscribe button over here. YouTube thinks you're gonna like this video over here. I say you should watch this one as well. Thank you for sticking around. Be sure to subscribe. Until next week, I'm out.